Okay, it's recording. Sit in the chair. Yeah, that's what I thought. Breaking news. New Gorilla Tag update dropped. We were a little late. Apparently, now we got this whole bunch of lore for Gorilla Tag, and we just haven't covered it for like a year now since the Bayou update, and I think it has something to do with Lucy. What are your thoughts about it?
I think it does not. And also, I believe there's like a new species kill us.
Whatever you say, bro.
We are back in Gorilla Tag, and this time it's clear that 1984 had impacted the minds of the developers. Once again, there's so much to be covered, so stick around for the true meaning of this new update. In my old video, I explained how ghosts were prominent in Bayou Boogie, and that a company or a person had tried sealing them up. However, now you can see the Gorilla Corporation trying to drill into Bayou Boogie, the place with thousands of ghosts, with a machine-like drill positioned exactly above the map. However, as this was happening, a wave of conspiracy theories had begun to struck the gorilla population, with myths of Yetis, aliens, UFOs, and mysterious tracks. You can see this even clearer in Basement, as it looks to be a conspiracy theorist base being completely wrecked by the Gorilla Corporation, being masked in their tape, covering the entire operation. In the basement, we see a wanted poster posted by the Gorilla Corporation looking out for a Yeti-like being. Aside from the several conspiracy theorist posters that were placed all across the room, there was also one prominent feature of the basement. The basement reveals to us three main characters of this whole operation. This Krampus-like creature, which we explained before, and two others. One, the Gorilla Corporation, and secondly, the Masked Man. We will first examine the Krampus-like being in mountains, however, as we got whereabouts of its location. Firstly, the most obvious evidence of this Krampus-like being is the straight-up creature-like model in Mountain's cave. We can see it more clearly in the secret tunnel. We can see a scene unfold in the mountains, as we can see tracks of this creature's hooves all around the snow. Not only this, but we can also see that somebody has been planting new trees and left their shovel at the very last tree. To connect these two parts, we can see the tracks leading up to this giant hill and starting to destroy these trees for some unknown reason. Now this is where things get complicated, as this completely splits into two different conspiracy theories. Firstly, this whole Krampus thing isn't actually real. From the jump of the Krampus from the bottom to the top leaves no clear snow marks of actual jumping, only footprints. The claw marks on the tree is exactly the height of a gorilla. However, in the poster, the Krampus-like creature looked like to be 6 feet tall. Why would he scratch at the exact bottom of this tree for no clear purpose? We also see new wooden boards with a question mark-like nails on them, possibly an attempt by the Gorilla Corporation to cover this entire scene up. We think the faking of this conspiracy is to hide their own actions. There's a certain monkey inside mountains that isn't revealed to us, however, clearly implied that they went missing with the dropped shovel at the final tree. Gorilla Corporation need to remove somebody from this world, possibly to them having a ton of information, and they staged it on a mythological creature. The creature in Mountain's cave could very well just have been a statue implemented by the Gorilla Corporation. This shifts the causes of the missing gorilla to the mythological beast, not Gorilla Corporation. However, in an opposite claim, this creature could be real if the missing monkey was a Gorilla Corp employee. This would explain the concern of Gorilla Corporation over any information about Krampus. The purpose of this Krampus-like creature attacking this missing monkey or Gorilla Corporation employee is possibly due to it retaliating on Gorilla Corporation's actions. By destroying trees and making this Gorilla Corporation employee try and replant them, he could find the exact time to strike and retaliate. You may be wondering, what could the Gorilla Corporation have done in order to make this Krampus-like being attack their employees? The one thing that Gorilla Corporation has done in the past few hours was launch the rocket into space. But what could be in space? In basement, there's a poster with a moon and this dark sky with a red circle surrounding a black dot underneath the moon's bright side and dark side. However, if you go into mountains and look at the sky, you will see that instead of a dark dot, there's actually a new shining star directly underneath the moon. This is the most likely cause of Krampus's sudden urges to start attacking gorillas in mountains, because all throughout the Christmas update, monkeys had been reported seeing Krampus growling in its cave, but not actually moving. We think Gorilla Corporation had created a new satellite directly underneath the moon, and this was affecting Krampus's life inside Mountain's cave, as the moon and the stars are the most easily seen in mountains. The day after most of this footage was recorded, Krampus had seemed to walk up into the stairs and possibly to the slide. Whether or not he's trying to get into city to retaliate against Gorilla Corporations or just wants a fun slide back down, it's clear that Krampus is planning something. For an overview, Krampus is either a Gorilla Corporation's attempt at hiding a missing monkey's murder, or an actual mythological beast that is being affected by Gorilla Corporation's actions, with a new satellite being implemented next to the moon. Our second topic of the video would be the Gorilla Corporation. What have they done different? Besides from the new satellite and the rocket while drilling into Bayou Boogie, something else is going on. Firstly, in basement, the maze has obviously been missing, with a paper showing IOU-1 maze. In order to dig deeper into this, me and Dr. Fish had to go to the very bottom of the mines, and exactly where all this was taking place. Besides the propaganda, Gorilla Corporation is a mining company that is incredibly greedy and money-hungry, digging into the graves of the Bayou Boogie. In Gorilla Corporation, you are forced to collect spectral energy, little fruits off of plants that are powered by the ghosts that inhabit them. Not only this, but you can find actual ghosts still living in the mines that threaten to attack you. What this all means is that Gorilla Corporation has possibly found an energy source from these said ghosts, powering their mechanics or leading them to create new inventions. It's unknown what purpose this power will be used for. We can also see that these used to be storage units from Gorilla Corporations, possibly how Gorilla Corporation found the energy from these ghost flowers. Besides the skeletons that clearly look like ghosts like Lucy, showing how this is from Bayou Banjo, there's no important information to be discussed. This is all old news. However, down in these mines, we see a very familiar face. The maze creatures has somehow grown to this amassed size and seem to be controlled by these little metal bits on their heads. They still possess laser beam abilities and practically behave the exact same way, however are far more aggressive. Gorilla Corporations, however, did not bring these maze monsters down here. Why would Gorilla Corporation bring adversaries to their workers if their power is in the spirit flowers that they are collecting? There is still one thing that we need to address.
What is this?
He has to wake up. He has to wake up. Precious, wake up. Precious, wake up.
Oh my! What just happened?
Precious. Thank you, Precious.
Oh, he's so cute.
He's not so cute.
I just died.
It seems that a giant meteor monster, which looks incredibly similar to the maze monsters, had crash-landed inside of these caves underneath Bayou Boogie. It seems that it too was controlled by these little metal bits, and Gorilla Corporations, as shown in the missions, really wants to kill this monster. However, a new question emerges. Who created these monsters, and why are they down here? In my personal opinion, I think this is the Masked Monkey's doing, as he is the only other character in this story that has any correlation to Gorilla Corporation. Not only this, but when the maze was missing, the page that had IOU-1 maze was poorly drawn, and unlike Gorilla Corporation, is very lazily put. Gorilla Corporation put their tape, their image everywhere. If this was truly Gorilla Corporation's doing, it would have been more symbolized. The purpose of this Masked Man's charades are very confusing, however. We do not know why he's making more monsters in the caves instead of easily just telling us to stop following Gorilla Corporation's orders. The chances of Gorilla Corporations actually controlling these monsters, however, are also very likely, thanks to the accusations of Gorilla Corporations hiding and incubating thousands of alien eggs. In the end, however, we might have not found all these pieces of lore that are essential for maintaining these theories. So whether the Masked Man is trying to help us steer clear of Gorilla Corporation's corruptions, or Gorilla Corporations is using their satellites to summon alien eggs from different stars, we truly have no idea if any of these things are happening. Hopefully in future updates we'll be able to uncover these secrets as these information becomes more clear, and we'll get back to you with another video. All of this said, we're happy that you joined us for this adventure, and we hope that you had fun watching us.
Who's behind you?
The Banjo! The one thing! This! Look! They're going into Banjo. What is it? Bio!
Swamp?
Swamp! They're drilling into swamp! Yes!